we've got it covered. The time by Sagicor Life is
7 o'clock on the family station, Love 101, time for the morning watch with host Reverend Dr. Dallin Toussaint.
Listeners to Love 101 FM are advised that the views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of Love 101 FM.
Hello and welcome to the Morning Watch on Love 101 FM. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. A special welcome to our listeners on love101.org. And if you're overseas and on the move, US listeners can access us at 712-832-8001. And if you're in the UK, 0330-332-6541. Or join us via the Love 101 FM app that can be downloaded from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can also join us on Love 101 FM Facebook and YouTube Live. In the first watch today, should Portmore become a parish? In the second watch, is age really just a number? Examining the pros and cons of aging. Our social media question we ask, what would be your argument for or against Portmore becoming a parish? Please share your responses on our Facebook page, Love 101 FM, and also on WhatsApp, 876-997-3125, using the hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll share your responses later on in the program, but before all of that, here's I quote.
This morning's I quote, I don't feel old. In fact, I don't feel anything until noon. Then it's time for my nap. Bob Hope.
Oh boy. Good morning, Shivani.
Good morning, Rev. How are you?
I'm well, and you?
I'm good.
You're good. I have a question for you. Shivani.
Uh-huh.
What's the youngest age that you would regard someone as being old? The youngest age that you regard someone as being, that when a person reach that age, they say that person old.
31 when they jump off the calendar. So after that, you're old.
Did I hear 31?
I'm just joking.
31,
What say you?
Move on with the program.
No, what say you? What say you?
We talk about it off the air, but
seriously,
it could not be 31 for me, Shivani.
Absolutely not.
All right. The first watch will be back after this break.
To earn international and local certificates in just for Easter program from March 20 to April 24. Get qualified in geriatric and pediatric nursing, phlebotomy, housekeeping, call center, customer service, business admin, receptionist, supervisory management, cashiering, childcare, and nail technology. No subjects required, no age limit, no entrance test. Register this week and get 10 to 25% discounts on all courses. Call 876-356-4167 or 876-354-8560. Visit us in Kingston, Spanish Town, Ojo or St. Elizabeth.
So, you've been told you can't really move and you're wondering what to do with all this stay-at-home time. Stop waiting and start creating with Berger Paint. That's right. Get 15% off all Berger paints so you can use that stay-at-home time to stay creative and make your home a colorful, wonderful, feel almost new kind of home. Get your hands on Berger and get your 50% off today because with Berger, creativity begins at home. Berger, for lasting beauty and protection.
Shake and go with true shake. Shake and go. Grab a true shake and go. When me have to put in the work, but I'm moving slow. Grab a true shake and go. School time and not joke time. Office study hard, brain full time. Grab a true shake and go. When we up in the gym, we have to stay healthy and fit. Grab a true shake and go. Shake and go with true shake. Packed with 9 grams of protein, 24 key vitamins and minerals to keep you going. Grab a true shake and go.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Now, the public debates and the discourse about whether or not Portmore should be granted parish status has been increasing over the past few years. Today, there's an obvious push from some quarters for that to become a reality in the near future. So, is Portmore ready to become the 15th parish in Jamaica? What are the arguments for and against this? And what is the process involved? Well, to answer these and other related questions, we have online Dr. Andrew Wheatley, MP for South Central St. Catherine, and Mr. Alric Campbell, Deputy Mayor of Portmore and Councillor of the Edgewater Division. Good morning to you both.
Good morning, Dr.
I'm well.
Morning, Dr. Wheatley as well.
Okay. Is Dr. Wheatley on? Is he with us? All right, we're not hearing Dr. Wheatley as yet. All right, so we only have so far Deputy Mayor Alric Campbell. All right, Deputy Mayor, welcome again. Good to have you. Good to see you.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Before we delve into the meat of our discussion, for those who do not know or may have forgotten, could you share with us when and how Portmore became a municipality and the implications in light of the fact that Portmore is located within the parish of St. Catherine?
Okay. As a matter of fact, that is one of the reasons, the formation of the municipality, why we, and when I say we, I speak to the PNP caucus of councillors within the municipality, are in strident opposition to the proposal. To answer your question though, it was around 1990, 1991, when I am sure you're aware of the Bridgeview community, the proposal came from the UDC to erect that housing scheme. And the community leaders within the municipality thought that that area, ironically, should be a park. And so that notion spread throughout the municipality. And the city associations, I'm talking of persons like George Nelson, the Josh Morgans of Portmore, who were activists in their own right, determined that the St. Catherine Parish Council at the time was not dealing with Portmore, giving Portmore the attention that it deserved. And so agitation started from that point. And it eventually happened in 2003.
And are you still with us, Deputy Mayor?
Yes, I am here. I'm saying it eventually happened in 2003 through the passage of the Municipalities Act of Parliament.
Yes. And tell us how that works out in regards to the St. Catherine Parish Council.
Okay.
Because is it that the councillors also sit on that council?
Yes, we do. Actually, your other guest, Dr. Wheatley, my good friend, was a councillor in Portmore, and he was the mayor of Spanish Town. So Portmore is a subset. When we meet as the St. Catherine local authority, we are all councillors from St. Catherine, right? And that will also give good sense in that the mayor of Portmore is not a councillor, so he is the only elected representative that only has jurisdiction in Portmore, and so he does not sit in Spanish Town. So we are a subset of the St. Catherine Parish Council.
Yes,
and
that's unique in Jamaica. Is there any other parish or council that does that?
No, that is another unique item for Portmore.
Okay, all right. Dr. Wheatley, I gather you're on.
Yes, good morning, Doc, and good morning, Alric. How are you doing, my friend?
Yes, my friend, respect.
Good to have you with us as well. All right, Dr. Wheatley, I gather that you presently chair the Joint Committee of Parliament.
Yes.
Reviewing the proposals for Portmore to be upgraded to parish status. When were these proposals made official, and on what basis were they made?
Okay, so let us, Alric, my good friend, give us a bit of history lesson. So let me just add to that history. So in 2003, the municipality of Portmore was established, and as he's correctly stated, as a result of agitation on the part of the citizens of Portmore, in particular, the Portmore Joint Citizens Association, then led by a councillor himself at the time, George Lee, who eventually became the first mayor of Portmore. And in fact, I was also elected as one of the first councillor in the municipality of Portmore. And it was then a very unique situation. It was in the experimental stage, to be quite honest. And I know for a fact that George Lee was alive today, he would even want to see us achieve his ultimate dream of establishing Portmore as the 15th parish, and also,
careful now, though.
And also, Portmore having more control, more autonomy over its affairs, and being able to lobby on its own with more strength and conviction. So back to the history, it was said and it was a commitment was made by in leading up to the 2007 election when former Prime Minister Bruce Golding spoke to the establishment of Portmore as the 15th parish, and in 2020 our current Prime Minister also gave that commitment as part of our manifesto to establish Portmore as the 15th parish. So having won the election, it is clear that the mandate was given to the Prime Minister to ensure that he kept his commitment, and more importantly, that the people of Portmore would be given full autonomy. The process, which was started some time ago, from in the 90s, we made some forward progress in the form of the establishment of the municipality of Portmore, and now we are at the stage of considering the proposal to establish Portmore as the 15th parish. And so a joint select committee of Parliament was established late last year. I believe it was around the end of November, early December, to examine this idea, this proposal to establish Portmore as the 15th parish. And so the committee, consisting of members of both houses of Parliament and from both sides of the political divide, participated in this process of looking at the proposal. We invited, we did quite a bit to reach out to as much citizens, agencies, groups, despite the pandemic. Irrespective of the fact that we are living in a pandemic, we have to continue the work of governing. And so we had a lot of submissions from government agencies, civil society, regular citizens within and outside of Portmore. And recently we examined the matrix as a result of that, of those consultations. And we are in the process now of finalizing and submitting a report to the Parliament for them now to look at if they want to go forward after we have completed the legwork. As
I'm not hearing it, Mr. Wheatley. Still there?
Yeah, sorry about that. A call just came in.
You still with us, sir? Yes,
ma'am.
Go ahead.
Too, guys. I'm there. Yeah, so we are at the stage where we are now finalizing the report. Yesterday we had a meeting where we went through the draft report. We made some corrections and amendments, and the final report will be presented shortly to the Parliament for them to examine.
I may have missed it, Dr. Wheatley, but why? What's the reason? What's the basis of this this request for Portmore to become a parish?
There are a number of reasons. One, Council Alric spoke to the first fact that, in the experimental stages, and even now, you had councillors in Portmore doing dual roles. They have to be attended in more or less similar meetings in Portmore as they have to go in St. Catherine. So in St. Catherine, they are doing two jobs, right? And Portmore is more or less an appendage to St. Catherine because of the dualization of responsibilities. Secondly, it is to complete the process of full autonomy, right? So Portmore will have more lobbying power on its own. And I've been asking this question. I hear people asking why Portmore becoming a parish, and I would want to pose the question: why not Portmore becoming a parish? What are the
answer the first one first.
Well, I'll answer the first one. So one, all
right. So appendage.
One, it is an appendage as it is now. Full autonomy to fully govern. Yes, they have some authority now. They manage the business of Portmore. Portmore is unique in not only in geography but the population in Portmore. I believe that Portmore now is poised to become the first smart parish or area anywhere in this region, not only the Caribbean, but I'll go as far as say Latin America and the Caribbean, and maybe even North America if you look at it. So, Portmore is based on the capacity, the inherent capacity, and the culture of Portmore. It is poised to become more than just a parish in the sense of just demarcating an area as I say that is a parish, but to go beyond that. And so, looking at the submissions to date, majority, if not all, of the submission. I recall a submission from Councillor Campbell. This submission spoke to just the mere politics of it, but nothing more than that, because he's of the opinion it's a political move. And even though everything in life is politics one way or the other, it goes beyond that. It's about governance, and we believe that it is the completion of a process, and it was a commitment that was given some time ago and recently again.
All right, let me see if I can bring back in Deputy Mayor Campbell.
Yeah.
You mentioned, Dr. Wheatley, about appendage, complete process of full autonomy, and it's poised to become more than just a parish. Your take on all of that, Deputy Mayor Campbell.
All right, thank you again, Dr. Toussaint. Our view is that there is no basis at this time for this proposal. And as Dr. Wheatley rightly said, the origin of this proposal stems from a campaign meeting in Nagohead when former Prime Minister Orette Bruce Golding made that suggestion, I would call it a suggestion, to the people of Portmore of making it the 15th parish of Jamaica. He also correctly stated that in the 2020 JLP manifesto it was there, and it was the only sentence in the manifesto about Portmore, and it was making it a parish, and it is one sentence, I kid you not. And we are saying that because of the basis and the origins of it, it has not been properly thought through. We are also saying that as a direct consequence of us becoming a parish, the local authority will have financial losses. And most importantly, in our deliberations, we must highlight the issue of participation. The people of Portmore has become accustomed to participation. As a matter of fact, in law, the local authority is required to present to the public its annual budget by law. And so we are saying to Jamaica at large, to Dr. Wheatley, to the government, that we are accustomed to having proper participation, not an hour and a half meeting where 6 persons from the public participated. And I know that that was just one avenue because we were asked to write it. Many people didn't, right? And so we are saying that in the true spirit of participation, let us allow the public in Portmore. And an opportunity is coming up. Local government elections are due by February. Put the question on the ballot and give proper participation. And we are further saying as a caucus of councils, PNP councils in Portmore, that we are asking our party hierarchy to ensure that we make it abundantly clear that if this participation that I am speaking to is not adhered to, then the next PNP government will simply reverse the parish status until the people who have participated
that sounds like a threat. Sounds like a threat.
I'm saying it is this point. It is the standpoint of the PNP caucus of councillors in Portmore. We are making, and this is an internal suggestion that we are making. It may not be accepted for the reason that it might sound as a threat. But that is how strongly we feel about participation of the people of Portmore. And when I say that it was not properly thought through, there are some burning questions that are yet to be answered, right? Mm-hmm. For example, every parish needs or should have a cemetery, right? Where in Portmore is the cemetery going to be? Where is the market going to be? What is going to be the status of the mayor? Will the rest of the country have directly elected mayor, or will we revert to having a selected mayor? Right? There are many questions that have not yet been answered. And so we are saying that whilst we understand that if the government, based on the majority that it has, wishes to make Portmore into the 15th parish, it will. We understand that clearly, based on the majority. But we are saying there are a lot of agenda items that have not yet come into place. And we know that amenities is not a reason. The geographic area can be given the status without amenities, right? We can say, for example, you will get a courthouse within the first 5 years of it becoming a parish, etc., etc. And so we know that there are provisions for that. But the participation will affect us directly. Financial losses to the council will affect us directly, right? Dr. Wheatley, in a second.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
Right.
I'm trying to note all of these mistakes.
Yes, I'm going to repeat them. I'm going to repeat them before.
You would have seen what I wrote, Dr. Wheatley.
Deputy Mayor Campbell, please finish your statement.
Yes. I am sorry. And we are friends, so there's no animosity here.
No, man, no.
So I realize.
We are friends.
Right. The way in which we receive our funds now, or PRS, Parochial Revenue Fund allocation, in Portmore, is that there are 41 divisions within the parish of St. Catherine. And as a fraction, 1241 of that is sent to Portmore. Yeah. This fund is calculated based on the road network. And we are saying that when Portmore is removed from Greater St. Catherine, we will be at a disadvantage because Portmore is very dense. So the road network is very small within Portmore. And then that calculation now will cause us to lose funds on a monthly basis.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Dr. Wheatley, your response. He even
thank you very much,
about this. It wasn't thought through.
Well, let me just go ahead and you can just remind me of some of what. If
want me to tell you them now? I'm telling them now.
No, let me just go. Let me just start with the last one. It was his first and last. And Councillor Campbell, we have been friends for some time now, and I know at times you get carried away with the truth, as you interpret it.
Yes,
so
as do you get carried away with comedy.
Let us go to the fact, right?
Yes.
The Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, its presentation stated to the committee, because we were concerned since that you raised that question in your submission, that there will be a loss of revenue. And that is not so. That is not so. If when Portmore becomes a parish, they will not lose. In fact, there will be a slight increase. And I'm sure Member Jackson, who is the senior PNP representative in Portmore, the only PNP member of parliament, current member of parliament in Portmore, asked that question and it was answered by the Ministry of Local Government. So that is wrong. So let us
with the greatest of respect, sir.
If
the government is putting forward a proposal, no agency of government here object. That is our reality.
All right, let him finish. Let him finish. Let him finish.
It's not everything is about politics, man.
And that's
let him finish.
I did not mention politics, my friend. I said government.
No.
All right. Okay.
But this fact, you can go and check for yourself. And in fact, let me just correct you as well. And it is sad that you being a council for some time now, and the deputy mayor still doesn't grasp the whole concept of how the parochial revenue fund is allocated. First and foremost, 25%, and this is fact, 25% of the revenue collected within an area, whether it's Portmore or St. Catherine, is not 41, 12 or 41. That's not how it goes. That was the old
That
system
is how it is allocated
years
now.
ago. No. 25% of the funds collected within the area, whether any parish, Kingston or whatever, then it goes towards the council directly. Then the remaining 75% is pooled all over the parish, all over the country, every month, all from all the parishes. Pooled and then allocated on the road network, a percentage of the road network in that area. Not per parish, because Portmore is not a parish as it is in that area. The old formula, when I was mayor, was the number of divisions within the area of Portmore, the municipality of Portmore, would be calculated as a fraction of the whole in St. Catherine, and the money sent over to Portmore. I used to sign those checks. So that is one. So that is
still happening, my friend.
No, that is one. That is one. Secondly,
Dr. Wheatley, a minute there. He had mentioned about the cemetery.
Okay. No. Yeah, I'm glad that Alric mentioned the cemetery. No. Except the requirement for a cemetery, there's no requirement for a cemetery in a parish. There's nothing in law that states that.
Nothing in the law. Nothing in the law.
Nothing in law. That's
Okay.
so cemetery or market. And he needs to educate himself by revisiting the Act of 1867 that established the current 40 parishes that we have in Jamaica. No. And I want him to defend this. Most persons that are buried in St. Catherine, whether it's Portmore, anywhere in St. Catherine, Kingston and St. Andrew, even St. Thomas and Clarendon, they are buried at the two main cemeteries. The two main cemeteries.
In St. Catherine.
Right? The two main cemeteries, Dovecote and Meadowrest, and they are in St. Catherine.
I must remind you that those are not public cemeteries, my friend.
No, but they are cemeteries. We use the word cemetery.
I mentioned public cemetery. But continue.
You didn't say public cemetery. But
no, I want to get this clear though. Is it a requirement in law that there be a public cemetery in the parish for the parish to become a parish?
No.
Okay. No. And he mentioned the mayor, the status of the mayor. What would that be?
So, you know,
status of the mayor.
The council has put in the
only have 1 minute. We only have 1 minute
before the horse, because listen, the report as it is does not go into that detail. The committee's responsibility is to examine the proposal and make a report. Now, if it is the wish of the parliament to go forward with the establishment of Portmore as the 15th parish, then the necessary actions will have to kick in from a legislative perspective.
Why not wait for a referendum? Why not wait for a referendum then? Why not put it on the ballot for the people to decide?
Is it every law that you everything that you do, you put it as a referendum?
No, this one is
the
more.
referendum referendum was already done when in the last election of September.
Deputy Mayor, Deputy Mayor, Deputy Mayor Campbell.
Unanimously.
Deputy Mayor Campbell's time. Thank you, Dr. Wheatley.
Portmore in terms of division.
Deputy Mayor Campbell.
Isn't
you
that
have half a minute.
Referendum?
You have half a minute, Deputy Mayor Campbell.
Yes, sir. So we are saying that I must reiterate that the thing has not been thought out properly. We are asking that it be placed on the ballot, respecting the level of participation that we are accustomed to in Portmore. Because no citizen of Portmore asks any member of parliament to make Portmore into the 15th parish of Jamaica. That came from a political platform in Nagohead. And so we want to know what the people think about it. Thank you.
Okay. All right. We have to leave it there, gentlemen. A spirited discussion. I hope that persons were informed and inspired in making the right decisions going forward. And we just wish all the best for Portmore. You know, Portmore is a wonderful place.
Yeah,
and
there is one benefit, you know, if I may, in the final moments of becoming a parish, we will have our own health department and probably mosquitoes who will be dealt with better.
Oh dear. Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor Campbell and Dr. Andrew Wheatley. All the best, gentlemen. Have a productive day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All the best, Doc and Albert.
Yeah, man. Respect, sir.
All right.
Blessing.
Listeners, the Morning Watch will return in just a moment.
Home Sweet Home. The time by JN Bank is
7:31.
This is the soothing sound of your finances being handled by Grace Kennedy Financial Group. And this? It's actually the relaxing noise of your car and home insurance, handled by experts you can trust. Trust Grace Kennedy Financial Group to do your banking, insurance, investments, money services, and more gracefully. Get to know us at gracekennedyfinancialgroup.com.
Here's a vaccination message from Love 101 FM. To reduce pain and discomfort where you got the shot, apply a clean, cool, wet washcloth over the area and use or exercise your arm. To reduce discomfort from fever, drink plenty of fluids, dress lightly, and take Panadol. My name is Brian Clennon from Love 101, encouraging you to get vaccinated. Let's get vaccinated and get back to life.
Forget ordinary. Now go compromise, oh nah, no way. I feel secure the best for my family. Me and my family, we go yummy. Go yummy. Best in value, best in place. Me and my family, we go yummy. Forget ordinary, go yummy.
Stay informed and keep up to date with all the happenings locally, regionally, and internationally. Follow My Jamaica Today on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Also check us out at JamaicaToday.com as we bring you all the information you need wherever you are, with fearless and factual reporting on politics, world news, business, entertainment, sports, and lifestyle. It's My Jamaica Today, Jamaica's first digital media house, only 3 clicks away.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Let's take a look at our newspapers to see what Jamaicans and others are saying and doing. In the Gleaner, Court of Appeal working to reduce backlog. And we see also that beekeeping project set to revive Crooked River. Also in the Gleaner, our mom did not die from COVID. When we look in the Observer, security lapse. Audit uncovers information safety weaknesses at passport agency. And we also see in the Observer that there's mandatory vaccination. Mandatory vaccination not likely to be regarded as unconstitutional, says the Bar Association. Interesting. And then also, fertile grounds for gangs. 70% of school dropouts are boys from inner city communities, says Dr. Horace Chan. Those are some of the major stories in our newspapers. Coming up next, we'll read some of the feedback from our social media question. What would be your argument for or against Portmore becoming a parish? Please leave a comment on our Facebook page, Love 101 FM Jamaica, or WhatsApp 876-997-3125. Soon come back.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Joan Pinkley, counseling psychologist. We are all facing difficult times in one form or another, and I know that a listening ear, some wise counseling, and spiritual guidance are necessary to help us face those times. That's why I'm here. I'm the counselor, your counselor, on Love 101 FM, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 10 to 11 p.m. You know you can call on me. I will listen, and more. So let's talk about what's bothering you, anything at all. For the month of September, our focus on the counselor will be on our teens and children, how they have been coping during the pandemic. I'll have some team guests to share their experiences. Now, I know the program starts at 10, so teens, get permission from your parents to join me. I look forward to hearing from you. Tune in, listen, call in, text, or voice message Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 10 p.m. I'm Dr. Joan Pinkney, counseling psychologist, ready with a listening ear right here on the family station, Love 101 FM.
For I am dead.
Here is a reminder from Love 101, the family station. As we face the COVID-19 pandemic, be kind to address stigma during this pandemic. Share the latest facts and avoid exaggerating stories. Show solidarity with affected persons and tell the stories of persons who have experienced the virus. I am Kimberly Levy from Love 101, reminding you to protect yourself while protecting others. Stay safe and keep it locked on Love 101, the family station.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Let's now join Siobhan for a look at how our Facebook and WhatsApp friends answered today's question. What would be your argument for or against Portmore becoming a parish? Siobhan.
All right, seen a comment here from Kiki. She says Portmore doesn't even have a hospital. They need to address that first and ease the pressure of the Spanish Town Hospital. This one says a parish within a parish. All right. Let me see if there's another comment. I think that's all I'm seeing on the text line. Right, I think that's all I'm seeing now. Thanks for that comment, Kiki.
Okay. Thanks very much for reading those comments, Siobhan.
Yes, right.
Okay. So as we now segue into the second watch, I begin by saying that regardless of how old you are, do you regard your age as just a number? And what does getting older really mean to you? Is it a pro or a con? Is it that you can't wait to get up in age? Or are you simply dreading the thought? Well, to discuss these and other matters related to aging, we have joining us Mrs. Patricia Reed Waugh. She was a Justice of the Peace, author of the book Retirement, A New Adventure, and a retirement coach. We also have online Professor Denise Eldemeyer Shearer, Director of the Mona Aging and Wellness Center and advocate for the elderly. Good morning, gentlemen. Sorry, good morning, ladies. My apologies. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. And good morning to your listeners also and viewers.
Yes, that was a senior moment for me. My apologies. Good to have you both. Good to have you both. All right, I begin with you, Mrs. Reed Waugh. You describe yourself as a retirement coach. Please tell us, who is a retirement coach and how relevant are individuals such as yourself in today's world?
Well, what I do is I do presentations for corporate entities where, they have retirement seminars. So they want to prepare their staff for retirement. It's very important that you start preparing from early, because you don't want to wait until you're 65 and then it just comes on you. So what we do is we start early and get them to understand all that there is for them, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and have them sensitized to the whole matter of retirement.
So are there other retirement coaches that you know in Jamaica?
Well, you have a few people who actually are with like the insurance, maybe insurance agencies.
Okay.
You know, right, because you have that whole section in insurance companies that deal with the whole matter of retirement, and even some of the normal financial planners that I know. The financial advisors, they also do some element of coaching also. But in terms of myself, I look more at the holistic point of view, not just money, but just what you're going to do with yourself. What are you going to do with yourself at that point?
Okay. Prof, you have been working for years with the aged.
40.
What are some of the 40? Okay. What are some of the major challenges facing the aged, and what concerns do you have in that regard?
I think that we need to look at it as a process. And when you said, is age just a number? For many people, it is. And there's no one set challenges, pleasures, because you're 60, because you're 70, because you're 80. We're all a product of our previous life experiences. Has to do with our social networks. Widowhood is something that you face in after age 60. You now face it before because of motor vehicle accidents. So there are some, I'm not even going to call them difficulties, I'm going to call them transitions. There are positive transitions as well, because grandparenting for most is a joy. And you don't have that in the most cases in the earlier years. You don't have the freedom to enjoy grandparenting, to spend time with the children, to pick up at school. So, but most interestingly, the two surveys we've done, I naturally being a practicing clinician, think of health. In both surveys, 1989 and 2011, loneliness was identified as the number one challenge, not their health concerns. That despite 70% of them having a health concern. So we also have to take into consideration persons' perceptions. Because it's a time of loss of the workplace, loss of those networks, loss of income, but also because when you get up 75, 80, you lose friends. Now they're really bothered by the fact that they've lost church, because church has been the mainstay over the years for social interaction, and they can't go to church. Online is not the same. So there are a number of challenges. The loss of church is balanced in the surveys we've done by the fact that they're actually, for the first time, older people have been a priority. For negative reasons in COVID, because of risk of death, etc., but they have been a priority. So they actually feel good about the fact that they're a priority. So it's a host of things. You need to be needed, you need to be wanted.
Yeah.
And work used to satisfy that, because if it was even to empty the rubbish bin. So now, how do I still feel useful is the big question.
Yes. Mrs. Reid-Waugh, I gather that you retired, quote unquote, at an earlier age than you had planned to. You mind sharing with us how that came about, and what have you been doing ever since, apart from being a retired coach?
Well, I was living in a small island called Nevis, a beautiful island called Nevis. I was having some significant health challenges, and every time something was wrong, I had to fly out. On the last occasion, when I came to Jamaica, I had major surgery, like 7 hours of surgery. And at that point, I had to start looking at my life and saying to myself, what is going to happen if something happens and I'm down there and I'm not able to get out quickly enough? So basically, that was what made me just decide, something, I'm just gonna stop. And I had to come out of the stress, because I was going to a lot of conferences all over the world, and you're not eating properly, and you're flying here and flying there, and that sort of life.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Reid-Waugh. Could you just hold that thought? We're at a break. We'll be right back.
Sure.
Jamaica's economy and has instituted several trade facilitation measures for the export sector, including processing of export declarations upon submission, removing the need for doc receipts, rolling out the electronic export manifests for shipping lines, piloting the AEO exporter program for compliant exporters, spearheading the electronic single window for trade J-Swift project, and collaborating with other entities to implement the paperless exporter registration process and online payment services, as well as removing the need for licenses and permits from certain items. Exporters, we value your contribution. Let's keep the wheels of trade turning. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
From generation to generation, Jamaicans have depended on J&B Bank to make the pride and joy of providing a safe place for their families possible. Now, with no processing fees and no down payment mortgage options, you can open the door to your own sweet home, a legacy to hand to your next generation. Visit jnbank.com to get pre-approved today. JN Bank will help you find a way.
So, you've been told you can't really move and you're wondering what to do with all this stay-at-home time. Stop waiting and start creating with Berger Paint. That's right. Get 15% off all Berger paints so you can use that stay-at-home time to stay creative and make your home a colorful, wonderful, feel almost new kind of home. Get your hands on Berger and get your 50% off today, because with Berger, creativity begins at home. Berger, for lasting beauty and protection.
Grandma, me come back.
You pay the bill?
Yes, Grandma. And guess what? Miss Watson at the payment agency say you did have money down there to collect and it gone back.
Money?
You wanted it sign up for the social pension program.
Yes.
Well, Miss Watson says social pension payment come from July, but true, you never collected. She have to send back yours.
I never know. Then me going to lose that money. I'm going down to the Social Security office.
You don't have to do that. She said the ministry going to send back the July money, so when the September payment make, you will get the 2 set.
Thank God. So how me going to know when it pay?
Miss Watson said the ministry send out text message. You never get no message.
Well,
Grandma, you have to remember to check your message there. Let me see your phone.
Seniors, the second payment under the new social pension program will be paid on September 20. Check your text messages to confirm your payment arrangements. Call 876-922-8007 or check the ministry's website, mlss.gov.jm. The social pension program, caring for our elderly. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. And in this, the second watch, we are discussing the whole matter of aging. And we have online Mrs. Patricia Reed Waugh, retirement coach. And we have Professor Denise Eldemeyer Shearer. Welcome back to you, ladies. Yes. Mrs. Patricia Reed Waugh, before the break, you were telling us about why you went into early retirement.
Yes, so I was 63 at the time, got back to Jamaica. But guess what? Before that, I had not thought anything about retirement. I was just living my life happily. And when I actually decided to stop, I was just not prepared for it. Really not prepared, not financially, not mentally, emotionally, or anything, because I had never thought about it before. So this is why my mission now, every audience I get, I want to talk about retirement and tell people so that they can know exactly what they need to do in order to prepare for it. God has been good to me.
Tell us now. Yeah. Tell us now,
Yes.
what do they need to do?
Well, for one thing, you need to have a retirement fund, a financial fund, right? That is very important. In addition to that, you have to have a network of social engagement. You can't just be working and not have a network, because when you stop working, then you won't have that social engagement. So you need to build up that network of social engagement so that you just take it into retirement. And what it means is that you will have a little more time, you know, in order to do all the great things. Also, you have to have you have to be prepared to be vulnerable. You have to have that beginner's mindset. There's a lot of things that we can learn. I learned to swim since I retired. I decided that before my 71st birthday, a month before my 71st birthday, I decided that I was not going to be 71 and not know how to swim. And I went down to the stadium and learned to swim in 1 month. And was
and
able
to play the violin, I gather.
Beg your pardon?
And to play the violin, I gather.
I learned to play the violin. I learned to play the violin since I have come back. I learned to play the steel pan, and I am now a member. I'm now a member of the Church of the Transfiguration Steel Orchestra. So these are the things that I am doing.
Okay. Professor Elimai Shearer.
Yes.
What advice would you give to the aged? What advice would you give to the aged? Because we are asking, is age, you know, really just a number? And some people believe it's just a number. Some people perhaps are not enjoying their experience of being among the aged. What are your recommendations to such individuals?
And it's true. And you can enjoy age one day and not enjoy it the next day because of your different aches and pains and challenges in life. So one is good health. Good health does not mean you don't have diabetes, hypertension, or something, but it means ensuring that you know what can work for you. You can still exercise even if you use a cane or a walker, and it's about keeping going. I think perhaps the most important piece of advice is to have a purpose, to know what your purpose in life is and to enjoy it. Is it being a grandparent? Is it being a retirement coach? Is it being a church member? I mean, I still do research. And it should be your purpose now. Prior to that, you were fulfilling the purposes of other people and family expectations and society. This is your time to do what you want, whether people approve, whether children approve or not. And most importantly, to stay in control. You have to make sure you have a decision, because people, children, and others have to help you financially does not mean that it takes away your right to decision making. Do without that help if it removes your right to say what you want, how you want it, and when you want it. So I think it's control of your life, independence, even if you're bedridden. And as long as your mind, and only 6% of our population is not able to contribute, you must have a say in what takes place around you.
There's a lot of concern about how persons continue to perceive of those who have reached a certain age. Persons have also said some things that are unfortunate. Certain persons have responded in ways that are negative. What are your suggestions, ladies? How should the age respond to those responses? Mrs. Ridwa?
Well, you know, it's interesting that you should say that, because 2 years ago, I entered the JCDC creative writing competition, and I got a silver medal for my entry. At the thank you. At the award ceremony, the keynote speaker was there and talking and saying, all you young talented writers. And he said that about 10 times during his speech, you young talented writers. And I sat there and I was seething. And what I did was, unfortunately, he had to run away after his speech because he had another engagement. So he didn't have an opportunity of seeing the people who were coming up for the awards. So as I got home, I went on the computer, found him on social media, sent him a message and said, among those young talented writers you were addressing were some grannies and grandpas that you did not acknowledge.
But Mrs. Ridwell, could it be that he regarded you as young? He looked on you and then, couldn't differentiate.
But it is the whole concept that people think that there are certain things that are the purview of the young. And therefore, we must go into the departure load, or we are in a departure load, sitting down there waiting on our number to call. But not so. We have the CCRP has been having a series of virtual concerts, and you must hear some of the entries that are in there. People doing speech, people singing, people reading poems, some excellent poems, and there is just such. We have so much to us, and what we need to do is we just need to go out there and just show people what we can do. Don't get depressed over the fact that they think that we are done. But what we need to do is demonstrate to them that we're not done. We just are calm. Right, Dr. Shero?
All right. Yes. All right. Old but not cold. Prof, your take on that?
My take is that it's important for persons around you, persons close to you, and you notice I'm saying persons, not necessarily only family. Family may be that. But I think that it's very important that you have a network that knows exactly what you want, when you want it, and how it will be met. So that when decisions are being made, you have a group of people, you have your advocates who said, but no, he or she said they wanted this. So I think you need to be very clear about it, and you need to discuss it with your close inner circle so that things are not imposed upon you by family members or by society because you are a particular age. We had a lady, and I'm going to end on vaccinations, that. We had a lady, 104, walk into the Mona Aging and Wellness for her vaccine. I mean, that is your best demonstration that age is a number, because she's quite fine, but she's now vaccinated. We had 109. Well, she was in a chair. So I think that it's about choices. We have found some issues with young people telling older people don't come for the vaccine for this reason and that, but it's your choice. And I'm using vaccines as an example. It could be anything else. It could be going on a trip you want to go on, etc. But I think we need to stand up for ourselves and to ensure that we have a say in what we want.
This month.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to follow up on that, because I was at the Mona Wellness Center. That's where I got my vaccine. And there was actually a couple there who said their children did not want them to take the vaccine. So what they did was got some church brother or church sister to drive them up there. So their parents their children didn't know they had come and gotten vaccinated.
Wow. Well, yes, go ahead, Prof.
We are in rough times. We know that those of us over 60 are a vulnerable group for COVID. We know that if we are vaccinated, that we are not likely to be hospitalized or to die. We have choices. We must exercise them. Vaccines are widely available now. Let us join that fight against COVID.
Okay, thank you very much, ladies, for joining us. Age is just a number, or is it also a marker? Those are the remaining issues. Both. They're both. Right. And we want to thank you both for joining us. Have a wonderful day, ladies, and continue to remain young. Okay. Bless you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Okay. Thank you, listeners, for being with us this morning. Join us again tomorrow as we continue to set the stage for discussion of topical and controversial issues. For information, I'll get copies of this program. Call our production department at 876-968-9483. 959627. This has been the Morning Watch. Thanks to our producer, Miss Kathy Gale, and our guests. I'm Dalian Toussaint, giving a shout out to the staff and students of the College of Theological and Interdisciplinary Studies, CETIS, as I hand you back to Love in the Morning with Siobhan Blair.
Thank you. It is 8 o'clock on the family station, Love 101. I had to, right? It's time for the program Forward in Faith.